Hello, Talk Funders, and here we are again with Chris from Classy Spirits for a Talk Funding deep dive on the Classy Spirits filtration system. And really over to you, Chris, just to really talk us through the product that you're launching on Kickstarter on the August the 3rd.
Yeah, thanks, Alan. So this is our product that we're launching. It's Classy Spirits Elixir Fixer. It's to be able to filter alcohol, to be able to reduce the harshness and the bite that we all do not like in our alcohols and spirits. And we developed this product so that we can remove the top. So you can take this with you different places. Goes on top of a red cup non-discreetly. The filter is able to pop out and you're able to replace this if you need to. And this is machine washable. So if you need to wash this in your dishwasher, it's perfectly okay. You can clean it by hand. This is still our prototype. So this one's not machine washable. But this is what we've been using for all of our taste tests that you've seen on our Kickstarter page. So this filter is comprised of our proprietary filtration system and technology. We're using a lot of different organic minerals and compounds from around the world. We've done extensive testing, and you can look at the results of our testing on our Kickstarter page. We've tested it in labs in San Diego that specialize in testing beer, spirits, and alcohol and different yeast production. And we've really fine-tuned this product. And our goal is to reduce acetone and acetaldehyde. And with this filter, we're able to reduce acetone by more than 58%, and we're able to reduce acetaldehyde by more than 10%, which is a really big deal. I don't want to get into any specific claims because we're not trying to make any claims at all, but you guys should do your own research on the effects of acetaldehyde and effects of acetone on your own, and look at what that does to your body. So the cool thing about these is that they come with a flush. And so you can look at the flush. We have pictures on our Kickstarter page. And if you're switching in between different alcohols, then obviously if you're using whiskey, you put the flush on there after you're done with whiskey, you turn it on the faucet for 20 to 30 seconds, flush out all the whiskey, all this excess sediment, and then switch over to your vodka. If you don't do that, then you're going to have a vodka that tastes like whiskey. So some of you might like it. Most of you probably won't. Our stand is comprised of stainless steel, and with the engraving on it. We're going to have a little bit different of engraving for the final product. But this is because we want it to be really a centerpiece at your table, a centerpiece for your next party or event. It's nice and stout and heavy. It's very durable. And your cup is going to be able to fit nicely right here. We're also working on other sorts of filtration systems for the future. We're working on a sulfite filter right now for wine. We're not ready to go to market for that. That's still in the R&D phase. But our goal is that once you have your stand and your top piece, you're going to be able to interchange it with other products later on down the road. And that's why our stand is nice and tall, so you can get any glass that you need to underneath it. So our manufacturing right now is overseas for the stand and is overseas for the top piece. But our filter housing and our filtration proprietary chemical process that we're using is actually made in the US. So I'm really excited that we're at least having part of our product made in the country that we live in. That's an important piece for me. I'm hoping to be able to add these in over time. But right now it's a little bit difficult to do everything in the US. But I just want to make that plug for USA made products. But it's great. Our filter works on anything that's aged and distilled. I think there's an important need to be able to describe what that means. A lot of these distilleries are kind of cheating in a way where a lot of them will take a grain alcohol, they'll go through their wort batch, they'll add their yeast, they distill it, and then they filter it. They usually just use a carbon-based filter that really doesn't remove that much stuff versus our filter, which is removing a lot more and reducing it down. But some people will add in a flavor after that process. So when they do that, it's called a botanical. So most gins that are made around the world now are a botanical. They're flavoring it. Your apple flavored, your cherry flavored vodkas, that's a botanical. Most rums are a botanical. So our filters are not meant to be used on a botanical. So what they are meant to be used on would be your vodkas, your tequilas, your whiskeys, your bourbons, your cognacs, and your brandies. And if you guys are in South America and you want to have some conchaca in there, you can filter that through as well. That's not readily available in other parts of the world. But again, not a botanical. If you do put a botanical in there, it's going to reduce what they added in afterwards, right? We're looking to hold in that flavor from the distillation or the aging process because that changed the chemical compound at its core versus adding a flavor in afterwards. So the best example that I can give real quick would be Jack Daniel's. Jack Daniel's does a 2,000 gallon wort batch. They go through the wort batch, they add in their yeast, they distill it, they filter it, and they bottle that, and that's Jack Daniel's number 7. They then filter it twice, and that's their Gentleman Jack. They then put their filtered twice product into a barrel, and they age it. I use quotations because they speed up the process for 1 year, and that's going to be their premium. They age it for 3 years, and that's going to be their reserve, right? So that's the best example that I can give is if you take your Jack Daniel's number 7 and you use it through our system, it's going to really smooth it out and taste like a much higher version of their product.
Oh, that is fantastic. I really click with that now. That's so good.
Yeah, and you can look at the taste test of that in our Kickstarter page. That's why we're trying to be very transparent, because there's a lot of products it does not work on, but there's so many that it does work on. And I think it's important from the manufacturer standpoint and the creator to be able to differentiate that, so you guys have a great experience, and the people that are really, really attuned to what they like to drink can benefit from this.
Well, Chris, thank you very much for that really comprehensive deep dive into your Classy Spirits filtration system, which is coming live on Kickstarter on August 3rd. And we also have a pre-launch opportunity for people to access the super early bird pledges before August 3rd by clicking on the link below in the description. So thank you very much, Chris.
And one more thing that I should actually
go ahead, Chris.
Say, sorry, is that we also show lab testing on our Kickstarter page and our landing page that we are not reducing the alcohol by volume. We're not eliminating any of the alcohol percentage. So some people in our taste test videos even alluded to that it tastes so smooth, they thought that we were eliminating the alcohol percentage. And in fact, we're not reducing it at all. And that shows on our Kickstarter page through all of our extensive testing.
Wow, well, there you heard it first from Chris from Classy Spirits. And thank you so much, Chris. In fact, it's been such a comprehensive deep dive. It would be okay for you to stay on and we can do a TALKFUNDing backstory just to find out a little bit more about yourself and the Classy Spirits team. So thank you very much, Chris, for doing this TALKFUNDing deep dive today. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you, Alan.
Cheers, mate. Bye-bye.